Wondering if you have the skills to break into product management? Let's explore the skills required for a PM role. What's interesting about product management is that it is a role that has been evolving for the last 20 years and there isn't any formal education. Now, I believe this is a massive opportunity for anyone with the right skills to transition into product management. This is why I believe the emphasis is all about the skills, the applications of the skills, and the value you can drive. By the end of the video, you will understand what are the 5 key PM skills, why and when those are being used, and what are the best practices to help you understand the level you are at when it comes to those skills. Let's dive into it. 1. Stakeholder management. This is truly a non-negotiable skill for the PM role. Not having this skill is like trying to make a banana bread without any bananas. What's the reality of the role? Let's go through this common PM scenario. You have an engineering team and they have limited time. You also have multiple teams in the business, your manager, your manager's manager, the CEO, all with their own ideas and agendas. And of course, aside from this, you have a platform, a product that you need to maintain. You have customers that you need to provide value for every day. Reality is that your team can't work on everything. Not all ideas are good. And shouting the loudest or having a high rank is not a way to prioritize ideas. Hence, you need this stakeholder management skill where you have to listen, capture all these different needs, structure them into framework, prioritize, and then communicate back in a way that drives collaboration to deliver the right things for the users and the business. Sounds complicated? Let's make it simpler. The base of this skill is communication in every single form. That is from building strong relationships with each of those stakeholders, what good looks like. Adapt your communication style to your different audiences, engineering, stakeholders, manager, users, and make sure that you share the right amount of information. For example, leadership doesn't need all the details, but your engineering team does. Be able to facilitate discussions and get people to understand the decisions that have been made and why. It is really important to get buy-in through clear, concise, and relevant information. Keep people in the loop with progress and make sure that you set the right expectations when things don't go to plan. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to my channel for weekly product manager. 2. Problem solving. Do you have a desire to find a solution to every problem you encounter? A big part of the product manager role is to deliver value, to see something through from inception all the way to the hands of the customers. There will be so many unforeseen situations with every product, with every release, and it's really important for you to be comfortable with uncertainty and be driven by solving problems. Reality of the role. Macro level, you will define what user problems you're going to solve. You have defining the feature, the creativity involved in working with designers and engineers to define what is the right solution for that user need. The problems that appear in your day-to-day, from an engineer being blocked to unforeseen issues coming up, what good looks like. Dive into the data to better understand the problem. Structure your thinking into what approach can work to solve the problem. Think about who is required to help you solve this. Make a plan of action and get people excited about the problem. Problem solving combined with a can-do attitude is where magic happens. 3. Decisiveness. Your role is to deliver value for the user and the business. You are in the middle of engineering, customers, and business, which means you have a lot of decisions to be taken on a day-to-day basis. Reality of the role. There is a lot of uncertainty in the role, and the key is to keep making progress instead of searching for the perfect solution. That means that you'll need to make decisions without having all the data. It's very rare where you have all the data available for you to make the right decision, which means you need to strike a balance between what is good enough and what risks you're willing to take. Second is prioritizing your backlog. You might have heard about sprint planning and backlog prioritization that happens maybe every 2 weeks, but reality is that the backlog needs to be prioritized on day-to-day basis. There's new information that comes to light, there's new things that are happening, and you need to keep on top of what are the right priorities and what is the importance of each item. Making the hard decisions about what are the things you should stop. There's this misunderstanding that the product manager role is all about what are the new things to build, but actually it's also about making the hard decisions of what should we stop, what are the things we shouldn't be investing in. What good looks like. Be comfortable with ambiguity. Take calculated risk. Use different prioritization frameworks or assumption mapping to structure your thinking and to highlight risks. Understand and make trade-offs. Not everyone will be happy with the decisions you are making, and this is where stakeholder management comes in with a flavor of negotiation to help you get people on board with the direction you are suggesting. And generally, it is never black and white, so you will need to make compromises. Fourth, curiosity. Curiosity is one of those underestimated skills of a PM, but I think is the one that's going to help you the most. It is about asking questions, challenging the way things are done, and wanting to know why something works the way it does. Reality of the role. In a PM role, you are a jack of all trades. That means you are part of a lot of different discussions, and it's hard to be the master in a specific field, but you can be the master of asking all the hard questions. In my last 2 companies, I changed roles every 3 to 4 months because of changing company priorities and focus. I believe it's not uncommon for product managers to have to move quite often between teams, even within the same company. I believe curiosity is the skill that's going to help you adapt to every role and learn quickly about the product and the team. What good looks like. There are no stupid questions. Easier said than done. Imagine you're in a room with 10-15 people and everyone is nodding along in unison. And you are there and you have a question in your mind, a clarification, but it can be daunting to raise that hand and get all that attention onto yourself. Now, what helps me in these situations is, yes, there are no stupid questions, but what I have learned over time is that actually the question you're asking is the question that is on everyone's minds, but they're just too scared to ask. So actually think about it as you are making everyone else a favor by asking the questions that they would actually want to know about as well. Second part is transforming your curiosity into insight. Follow up those questions with the right teams, with the right people, or looking into the data. 5, empathy. The PM role is all about working with people, and you need to have a desire to want to build a relationship with every person you work with, as well as having a desire to help your customers in the best way possible. And empathy will enable you to do both. Reality of the role. You need to cultivate a deep understanding of the customer needs in order for you to really drive the right solutions. That can be done through running user interviews and being very curious and wanting to understand what is actually their situation and what are actually the problems they are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Second is understanding your team. Understanding what motivates each member of your team, what actually drives them. That's really important when it comes to getting people motivated and keeping them focused. The third one is understanding your stakeholders, understanding what goals do they have, what is the motivation behind the timelines or the push, because that would really help you drive collaboration and drive common outcomes. I believe empathy is represented in different ways, so I don't think there's like a best practice. But what I would say is, I think it's really important to practice active listening. PMs have a massive problem with context switching. We have no breaks in between meetings, and I think that can impact our ability to really focus on what people are saying. Make sure you take a break between meetings so that you can reset and bring all your attention and focus onto the problems at hand or onto the discussions you are having then and there. Please share in the comments what other skills you have found essential for the PM role. Please subscribe to my channel for weekly product manager insights.